reconnaissance is telling us that national retailers are very interested in this site. I guess the fact of the matter is it has not been packaged in such a comprehensive way before that may have stymied the opportunities in the past. Having said that, restaurants are going to play a key component here. Movies, we think entertainment needs to come back to downtown. I remember myself living in the Southwest Project, growing up here. We had the theaters all around us. We had Parkfield Theater. We had all of the theaters here, even on I believe it was Waverly Street. There was Linden Street. There was also a theater many years ago. A ballpark, critical component of the project, 6,500 seat regulation facility for minor league baseball. Again, creating a real diversity of product in the downtown. Drawing people would be an anchor of sorts, both in the evenings and on weekends. When the facility is not operating as a ballpark during the 60 or 70 games, including playoffs, hopefully our team makes the playoffs, this will also pose an opportunity or offer an opportunity for, in fact, we spoke to local council member McDowell, for youth programs, concerts, really creating the center of downtown again, a focal point in downtown. And what better way to do it than through a stadium, your own stadium, Yonkers Stadium. And then the river walk, we talk about 1,100 linear feet of river walk alongside the converted and opening up Sawmill River. I think any one of these components without the other really doesn't work as effectively. If you put it all together, the baseball stadium, the excitement that's going to generate, and the opening up of the Sawmill River, and the retail stores, and the movie theaters, and all those things can create a dynamic kind of downtown, the likes of which I think is going to be the pride of the entire East Coast. And that's why we've sunk so much of our resources into that. Government Center Garage. Taking to what is what we call the GCG, the Government Center, and retooling that with both retail and parking. Now we're going to recreate the Government Center Garage to the tune of approximately 1,600 parking spaces. In addition to that, we'll have about 20,000 square feet of at-grade, active retail space as well. So as to activate the sidewalk, you don't want to we want to learn the lessons of urban design and redevelopment of the last 30 years. You don't want to create a blockaded storefront. You want to have this street presence in and out of those stores and at River Park Center. So you have the dynamic of both happening. You don't want to isolate that. In addition to that, what we're referring to as the Palisade Office Building. We have two locations with some retail. We have 225,000 square feet of that. And you'll see the subtotals to your right. The Case Justice Center. We're proposing to build a Class A office to replace what is the 87 Effingham, the old health center building, if you will. Approximately 100,000 square feet of modern, organized, professional office space for the varying city departments. The City of Yonkers, over the last several months, has done a tremendous amount of work, including needs studies, engineering studies on the building, the requirements going out 5, 10, 20, 30 years, and we have integrated that into our plans and layouts for a Class A office building, literally across the street at the corner. If you can envision that, we'll show you in a photograph or a montage, corner of Route 9A or South Broadway and Effingham Avenue. In addition to that, we're proposing a 150-room hotel. The downtown is underserved in terms of hospitality. There are no quality national flag hotels. And we have done a lot of this throughout Westchester County, both in New Rochelle and White Plains. You've seen our Ritz-Carlton project, and of course you've seen our Marriott project at New Rock City. We view this as a full-service hotel with banquet facilities and ballrooms and conference facilities as well. Again, to anchor the government center, when you have conventions and your business week and the like, you're going to have a facility where people can come from all across the country and around the world, for that matter, and have a quality resting facility with banquet facilities and the like in a beautiful environment overlooking the Hudson, the views of the Hudson. It's going to create a really nice, we think, again, 24-hour downtown in the same way we've accomplished that to a large extent in White Plains, but on a grander scale actually here. And then Firehouse, we make reference to the Firehouse. Well, the old Central Firehouse that's on New School Street will be torn down as part of the redevelopment of the ballpark complex and the retail entertainment complex. We will relocate and create a brand new facility, state-of-the-art, with integrating all of the fire department and their engineering concerns into this new facility, which they have already agreed to in terms of location, size, scope, and layout. Several additional bays for the growing needs of the fire department over the, again, future years. We try to integrate forethought and forethinking in all of this with the help and cooperation of the City of Yonkers. We didn't do it on our own. The cities expend a lot of time and energy through their professional staff as well. Palisade Point, the H&I site, to conclude, 436 dwelling units. Right now the proposal is in two 25-story buildings with approximately 8,000 square feet of retail on the riverfront. There's going to be public access to the Esplanade. There's going to be public access to the entire site to create a dynamic environment there. So this will not be a gated community by any stretch. It will be the opposite. Fully integrated. There will be boating and canoeing from this site. There will be an expansion of the sculpture park to the south, further to the south, to create this continuum of park along the river's edge, and again, fully accessible to the public. Nearly 40% of that site will be public accessible open space as well. That is essentially the program. If you flip to page 6, we talk about all the boring parking requirements, but nonetheless necessary, that are part of this tremendous amount of parking, over 6,000 parking spaces to support the full build-out of the project. We can go on to the next page. On page 7, you see the Phase 1 development, Palisade Point, a.k.a. H&I, where our 436-unit development is going to occur. The Case Justice Center, where both the office, 150,000 square foot office, and 150-room hotel would occur. The hotel rooms would be above and the office would be below. River Park Center, again, the massive entertainment retail ballpark facility aforementioned. We can turn the page. We see some visuals on all this as we face both east and to the north. It's a northeast perspective of existing conditions. And then you flip the page to page 9, and you can see what we envision in terms of this entertainment retail mixed-use facility. Really an incredible investment in the iconic kind of design, integrating baseball and the like. You turn the page one more time, you see some aspects of the Riverwalk and the opening up of the Sawmill River and how that would be fully integrated into this project. The opening of the Sawmill River alone, we have estimated, our engineering firms have estimated, will cost upwards of, what's that bill, about $40 million in total for all the components of the daylight. So it's quite an expensive proposition, but again, something that becomes an iconic design for this city. Again, another perspective, the view from Effingham Avenue, looking east with the bridge and connections in a River Park Center, and you see a lot of outdoor dining, a lot of opportunities for varying types of restaurants. Again, our intent is for, and later on in this brochure you'll see it, is for this job to be, and I know the questions were asked, union. This will be built union, completely union. We will have a project labor agreement. For those of you who know the Capelli organization, we don't build anything but union in this area. As we flip the page once again, you have an aerial view of what is the ballpark, bird's eye view looking down. And you can see the varying project components with the river traversing to both the south and to the east, continuing towards the west along the Main Street. If you flip once again, you're going to see an elevation. The 28-story residential towers rising above an 11-story podium. As Sean Griffin has pointed out from Harris Beach, this project has already been findings have been issued, environmental findings have been issued and done by the City Council. Page 14, again, you have a perspective of the building section north-south of River Park Center. Give you some sense of the project. Flip to page 15. What we have done in response to the council and the administration's need to try and preserve architecturally some of the history, the grand history of the downtown. We have integrated the exterior facade of what is the 87 Neverhand into the new building. You can see elements of that there. Almost gives the impression that it's still there. But that is the facade with a